super nervous.
Can you please get over on this side?
Why don't you? Technical difficulties, please hold.
Alright. You stop. Hello?
Hello.
Stop.
It's for the Spanish viewers.
Oh my. Okay. I thought it would be fun for this video to talk about how my lovely boyfriend Tyler and I met and how we ended up forming a relationship. So it kind of starts a year before, like around a year or so before we actually.
How's it going? Technical difficulties.
Can we please get through this successfully without you? Like I said, for this video, I thought that it would be a cool idea for both, since I have him here for a few more hours until he has to go home, to talk about how we met and how we ended up actually forming a relationship together. And it started around a year before we actually decided to start dating. Funny story.
She was dating my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
My best friend.
That ex-best friend I was telling you about in my last video, me and her were friends at the time, and she and a bunch of her other friends decided to try and set me up with this stranger that I had no idea who he was.
Which the stranger was my best friend.
Yes. And I remember being so nervous. And I know Tyler's dying to say what his thoughts were.
She looked like a ho-ho. I even have the picture to prove it. Give me a minute.
And he's going to look at that. He's going to look up that photo so that he can show you what it looked like.
Yes.
But while he's doing that, so yeah, I was set up on a blind date. It was
Halloween.
It was Halloween. It was a Halloween night. The 31st. Okay. It was Halloween night, and I met him, and things took off to a good start, and we dated for a few months. Like, it went smoothly, but I'll tell you one thing. Don't date a guy who you're only going to see, like, twice during your 4-month relationship, because that was complete and utter hell for me. He seemed like he didn't want to hang out with me. He didn't want to come over to my house. He didn't want to really be involved in the relationship that we were supposed to be in. So then after 4 months, while I'm at a church event, he tells me, things aren't just working out. And I'm like,
I was at his house that same day, and his mom because he texted her this, his mom made him call her to do it over the phone to be more respectful.
Yeah, so it was
it was quite hysterical. I love his mom.
I was really upset for the first few days, but then I got over it because it wasn't really anything special that we had. Like, we were two completely different people, and I was like,
well, so are we.
Bye. Yeah, but like, he was different in a different way.
Oh, I found it.
You found it? Oh, here we go. It.
That's the definition of ho-ho. She's right there. Like,
I'm the one in the purple mask.
Yeah, definite ho-ho.
Definite ho-ho.
Yeah, I didn't see, like, it was Halloween. I was trying to dress up as a cat, but apparently I looked like a slut. I don't know. So that was done and over with.
And then I'm gonna put this part in. My friend that I hang out with a lot, and we work together. They went to prom together.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I was like making rounds around his friend group. Like, it was ridiculous.
She went to my senior prom with my friend.
Oh, okay, to be fair, I went with, but I needed a date to get into the prom because she had already invited someone else. I think she invited
I thought we weren't using names.
I wasn't trying to. I'm gonna have to redo this again. Take 2. I went to the senior prom with his other really good friend. And I'm like making rounds around this like friend group. And to be fair, I went with my ex-best friend but I needed a date because she was bringing a date that wasn't going to the school. So she already had a +1, and they wouldn't allow any more than a...
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that washes us out, like, terribly.
That's better.
But anyway, so she already had a +1, and so I needed, in order for me to come, I needed a date that would bring me as a +1. She's like, oh, my friend, blah, 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 would love to date, blah, blah, blah. The guy barely spoke to me, and he called me annoying. He called me overbearing at the dance. He called me a crybaby, and I felt so disheveled. And another thing, too, my dress freaking broke while I was at this dance.
That's why you don't buy your prom dresses from Ross.
Okay, look, listen. It was a really pretty, like, it was like lavender purple, and it had a really nice like heart neck. Well, it was a heart neckline, and then it had like a mesh top to kind of give it more character, and then it flowed out in ruffles to the bottom, and it like dropped to the floor, and it was freaking gorgeous. So yeah, and it was a beautiful dress. But unfortunately, if you buy your dresses at Ross, the one thing, and which I didn't know this until I met him, or until we were dating and he told me, that all of Ross's clothing has an imperfection in it.
Factory blemish.
Yes.
Just like how all my cars are factory pieces of shit.
I'm actually still pretty good friends with the guy that I went to the prom with
because she doesn't have a choice.
He's right on that fact. I don't have a choice in being his friend, but he's pretty cool, but sometimes he really pisses me off and I want to throat punch him. But that's besides the point. Now we're getting to the... I love you. Okay, anyway, so the actual point of this video, like, I just wanted to give like some of the background. We met at the Halloween party, and he was actually with his ex at the time. That's how we met, and through that 4 months that I was dating his best friend, we actually got to spend a little bit of time with each other because we went to the movies.
Here's the thing. She messaged me on Facebook out of the blue. She was stalking me on Facebook.
Oh,
and she has already admitted that. Shush. My turn. Shush. She was looking through my Facebook. She's like, that's so cool. Blah, 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 blah. Emoji.
I just want to say for the record, I was not stalking his Facebook.
You have to...
No, okay, his name popped up, and I was like, oh, that's... I'm gonna go look at...
Damn it.
His name popped up. His friend.
That's my boyfriend's friend.
Yeah, that's my boyfriend's friend. Thank you. And so I clicked on his name, and I was looking through his Facebook, and I actually only scrolled like partway down my screen until,
but
and then I saw...
still went through it.
No, I still went through it, but I wasn't like stalking you. Like, what? No. But anyway, so I saw that it said that he lived, so I casually messaged him. I was like, wait, you live in... He's like, I don't live there. I grew up there though for a few years, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Buddy?
Yo, what's up? Technical difficulties. That was my boy though.
Anyway, so yeah, so I just casually messaged him, and that's all that it was. But the thing is, his best friend and me being in a 4-month relationship, during that relationship, whenever we were hanging out and stuff, I would also be on the phone with his best friend, and he would be on the phone too.
Because he was so socially awkward that he wanted me to be on the phone, so he wasn't like weird. So
yeah,
that's the reason I was on the phone. It was a 3-way merge call.
Yeah, so we would be talking on the phone
for like 20 minutes, all three of us.
Exactly, and it would be like 9 o'clock, and his friend would be like, oh, I gotta get off the phone, I gotta go to bed, I have work in the morning. And I'm like, I've only been talking to you for like 20 minutes, bro, like, what are you doing? After he would hang up, Tyler and I would be on the phone, and we would be on the phone for like an additional 2 hours.
Now I can't even get a 5-minute conversation out of her.
But yeah, so I don't know if it's just because we've been together for almost 2.5 years that we can't hold a steady conversation on the phone, but that's that. Anyway, so his best friend and I break up. He breaks up with me, and it's like, whatever. I'm like mad at him, whatever. And about 6 months later, this is when I sent him that text message, or that message on Facebook. You know, we started becoming more friendly. We started talking to each other more. It was a good time, because then we started hanging out. Like, he would come to my house in his parents' car. He'd come to my house in his parents' car, and he would stay at my house for hours and hours and hours until like midnight. And we both have like work, or I think at the time I was still in school, so he would have work, I would have school, or something like that. And he would stay there until like midnight, and then he would leave. And it was so cool, because like we would be laying on my bed, and we'd be just like talking about nothing, or we'd be watching movies, and it was just like, it's something you see out of like a
Lifetime movie.
Yeah, really. I was thinking the same thing. But it was literally something you see out of a Lifetime movie. We were just talking about nothingness, and then finally, what really led up to us actually being together, I was supposed to go to a movie with that ex-best friend, another friend of ours, which actually, that is an upcoming video, because I have some stories about this other friend that I really want to get out there, because, oh my god, I can't even begin to, like, we're done. I was supposed to go to the movies with, it was Tyler, I think your best friend was supposed to come, right, too? Mm-hmm. And then this other girl and my ex-best friend. Who was also
my best friend.
Yeah. So, like, I was just kind of thrown in the mix of her and his group of friends. Like, they just kind of all intertwined in my life, and then I was like, oh, this is happening now. But,
we were supposed to see Purge election year.
Yeah. But it was so weird, because everyone bailed out, because me and him had been talking about it for, like, the whole day, about wanting to go see this movie. And we were trying to invite everyone, because I think it was actually our idea, and we decided to invite everyone. But then they all bailed out on us.
It was legit. We were all going to go. Everybody's like, yeah, we're down.
And then people had different plans, and they just bailed. And I was like, oh, really? Are you serious? But then he was like, well, why don't we just go see the movie together? You know, like, we had the plans. We created the plans. We wanted to do this group thing. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it.
And the moment I came over to her house the first time, first thing I seen was this gray 98 Honda Civic on freaking Acura wheels. And I'm like, oh my god, this car is amazing. And it was like, I'm like, whose car is that out front? Is that your neighbor's or something like that? She's like, no, that's mine. I'm like, yeah.
He's a car guy, if you can't tell.
And we took your car. Well, I took your car because you didn't have a license.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't have a license at the time, so he had to drive my car to the movies.
Which was awesome. And then I purchased it 2 years later.
And then it was a piece of shit and stopped working the day that he bought it.
And
but
then I sold it a week later.
That's a story for another day. Anyway, so we went to see the movie. We had a pretty good time, and so then it was time for us to go back to my house. And we were up in my bedroom for a few hours, and then it was time for him to go. We come outside, and he's standing in front of we're standing in front of his mom's car. And, you know, we usually always give each other a hug. When I went to go give him a hug, he did. And we're going to argue about this. Just
fair warning. Just
be prepared.
Be prepared. Because she doesn't know how it really went.
I do know how it really went down. So we went to hug, and he didn't let go of me. And I was like,
she didn't let go of me.
It's not true. Whatever.
Continue.
And so then, like, we just got into this little bantering, and I'm like, why aren't you letting go of me? And he's like, why aren't you letting go of me? And it just kept going on for like 2 minutes. And then he started like leaning closer. It was you that was leaning closer.
Hold on. You missed a part. You tried to walk away. Like, you tried pulling out of the hug, and I pulled you back in. And this was my face, and this was her face.
And so one of us started leaning closer. And so we got into the bantering about, you know, why are you leaning closer? No, why are you leaning closer? Why are you leaning closer like you're going to kiss me? That's what I said. I remember that.
Yeah, you did say that.
I was like, why are you leaning closer like you're going to kiss me? And then, boom, there you have it. We gave each other a little kiss.
Not gonna actually
give him a kiss. It was actually a long kiss.
Very
and it was like, again, lifetime. That's like what it reminded me of. It was awesome. I love you. But yeah, so that's actually the ending. We actually didn't officially ask each other out until the next day, but like I still consider it like the day we got together because we knew it was gonna happen.
That's why I consider the next day our official anniversary.
But anyway, so it was it was the 3rd of July, but we are deciding to have it be the 4th of July because it's more magical that way. Thank you for watching this video. That was our little relationship little story got going on there. So I'd like to thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like that,
you
can
hit it twice. Hold on a second. I'll make this more interesting before we...
No, stop. If you like this video, like I said, you can go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like that, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so that every time I post a video, you'll be able to know when I have uploaded. And if you want to say something about this little story and give me a little bit insight on your own stories, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. I hope you liked this video, and I'm just here to tell you to stay litty.